Hey, this is Mr. H, and once again, I want to thank you for joining me for another story time. Today, we are going to be reading The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Hope you enjoy it.
The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the greco grass grows and the wind smells low and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And if you look in the greco grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today, where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the greco grass grows? The old Wantler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Wantler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurking on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin cool under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of midnight remove. And on special dark midnights in August he picks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope he lays down a tin pail, and you have to toss him 50 cents in the mail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's nail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes the most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub. His secret strange gold is his gravyless club. Then he growls, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone.
Hello?
Slap. Down slaps the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old Wantler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snarly holes, and he sounds as if he has smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long time back. Way back in the days when grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of Swami Swan ran out in space. One morning, I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees. The Trophula trees. Their bright-colored troughs of the Trophula trees, mile after miles in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloos frisking about in their barbaloo suits, as they played in the shade and ate Trophula fruits. From their red pillow spun came the comfortable sound of the humming was flashing around. But those trees, those Trophula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tops was so much softer than silk, and had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt great, leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my car. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped on a Trophula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took down a soft tuft, and I kneaded as me. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazap. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I just chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mussy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing that you made out of my Trophula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I am being quite useful. This thing is as neat as to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who will buy that full need." But the very next minute I proved he was wrong. For just a minute a chap came along and he thought that the need I had needed was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up if you please." I rushed across the room and in no time at all I built a radiophone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts. I said, "Listen here, there's a wonderful chance for the whole Monster family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Niche, turn left at Wicked and try right at South Stitch." And in no time at all, and the factory I built, the whole Monster family was working full tilt. We were all needing things just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of Dracula trees. Then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. The shopping for 3 at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which walked off 4 Dracula trees at one smacker. We were making knees 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked at my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who play in the shade in their barbaloot suits and happily live eating Dracula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough Dracula fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crumbs because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Wansler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crumbs and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I mostly truly did not, but I had to go bigger. So bigger I got. I bigger my factory, I bigger my roads, I bigger my wagons, I bigger the loads of the things that I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I bigger my money which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax." He coughed and he whiffed. He sniffed and he snuffled. He snargled and sniffed. "Wansler," he cried with a crofulous croak. "Wansler, you're making such a smugulous smoke. My poor swami swams, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They might have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you smugged up around here." "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his standard was up, "let me say a few words about Gluppity Glop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glop, also Schluppity Schlop. And what do you do with the leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Wansler. Man, you! You're glumping the bun where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gum. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is jab jab and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my right, sir. I am telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more Dracula trees into needs, which everyone needs." And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last strophular tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved goodbye. They jumped into my cars and they drove away under the smoke smugger stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing. He just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the green look on his face when he hasted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lord left here in this mess was a small pile of rock with the one word, unless. Whatever that means. Well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day I've sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings are falling apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax is perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a trophula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last trophula seeds. And trophula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new trophula. Treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest. Protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends might come back. The end.